bad at like other sports, like any other sport that isn't tennis. I'm pretty bad at. So I haven't really had it.
Eala signs $15 million mega deal and retires her parents instantly. The heartbreaking and beautiful story behind tennis's biggest payday of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Court Vision Plus, the only place where we do not just watch the game, we feel the heartbeat of the court. And today? Oh, today is something else entirely. Today we are not talking about forehands, backhands, or WTA rankings. We are talking about a moment that transcends sport. We are talking about the kind of life-changing, destiny-altering, soul-shaking news that makes you want to stand up in your chair, pump your fist in the air, and let the tears flow freely. Hold on to your seats, tennis fans, because the pride of the Philippines, the Southeast Asian sensation, the little girl who left home as a child with nothing but a racket, a dream, and two parents who believed in her harder than anyone should ever have to believe in anything, she has just dropped a bombshell that is shaking the entire sporting world to its foundations. We have seen Eala lift trophies. We have watched her battle giants on the world stage. We have seen her cry in defeat and roar in victory. But we have never, in all the years we have covered this extraordinary young woman, seen a victory quite like this one. Eala has reportedly put pen to paper on a staggering, jaw-dropping, absolutely massive $15 million endorsement deal. You heard that right. $15 million. But that is not even the headline. That is just the number. The real story, the one that is melting hearts from Manila to Madrid, from Tokyo to Tennessee, is what she did the very second that ink hit the paper. This is not about Ferraris. It is not about penthouses or private jets. It is about a promise kept. It is about a daughter's love manifested in the most powerful way imaginable. Eala has officially secured her parents' retirement. Her mother, Riza. Her father, Mike. Done. Finished. Taken care of. Forever. In a world where young athletes often lose their way in the glitz and glamour of sudden wealth, Eala has planted her feet firmly on the ground and turned to the two people who made it all possible and said, without hesitation, you are done working. It is my turn now. Stay with us, because today we are going deep. We are breaking down every cent of this deal, the emotional message that has the internet in full meltdown mode, the decades of sacrifice that led to this moment, and what this financial earthquake means for the future of tennis in Asia. If you love stories of triumph, family, and massive paydays, friend, you are in exactly the right place. The $15 million bombshell. Let us start with the number that is ringing in everyone's ears, $15 million. In the world of professional tennis, especially for a rising star who is just entering the prime of her career, this is not just a paycheck. This is a statement. It is a declaration of market value. It puts Eala in the stratosphere of the global commercial elite, in conversations usually reserved for established Grand Slam champions who have spent a decade fighting for position at the very top of the sport. Sources inside the tennis endorsement world are buzzing. The forums are lighting up at 3 in the morning. Marketing executives are scrambling to analyze the deal structure. This agreement reportedly encompasses a multi-year partnership with a global commercial giant, covering everything from official brand ambassadorship and social media campaigns to exclusive product lines and public appearance schedules. While the specific conglomerate behind the check is held under non-disclosure agreements tighter than a Wimbledon dress code, the financial footprint is undeniable. This is set-for-life money. This is generational wealth money. This is the kind of number that restructures a family's entire financial trajectory not just for one generation, but potentially for the next 2 or 3. So why now? Why Alex? Why 2026? The answer is deceptively simple. Over the past 18 months, we have watched Eala climb the WTA rankings with a ferocity that is simultaneously terrifying to her opponents and breathtaking to her supporters. From cracking the top 50, a milestone that sent the Philippine media into a frenzy, to her deep runs in Miami and her historic performances at the U.S. Open, she has proven beyond any reasonable doubt that she is not a regional story. She is the real global deal. Brands at the global level understand something casual fans are only beginning to grasp. The Asian tennis market is the sleeping giant that every major sports company is desperately trying to unlock. They found their first hero in Lina years ago. They watched the commercial supernova of Naomi Osaka. And now, in 2026, the spotlight, the money, and the opportunity are converging directly and decisively on one person, the spirited, left-handed fighter from the Philippines. But $15 million is not purely about marketing metrics. It is about what brands call the Eala effect. When Alex plays, the stands do not just applaud politely. They become a fiesta. Filipinos arrive in droves, draped in flags, chanting her name, turning quiet tennis cathedrals into something resembling a championship football match. Brands pay extraordinary sums for that level of authentic emotional connection, and Alex Eala has it in reserves that most athletes simply never develop. The message that broke the internet. Now, if the $15 million is the thunder, what Alex did immediately afterward was the rain. The kind that washes away the cynicism and hardness that years of following professional sports can build up around your heart. She did not post a selfie on a new sports car. She did not share a photo from a private jet. She did not announce a luxury penthouse purchase. Instead, Alex Eala sat down and wrote the most raw, vulnerable, achingly beautiful message about the people behind her success. I do all of this for them. It's time for them to live in peace. They worked so hard for me, now it's my turn to take care of them. Let that settle in your chest for a moment. It's time for them to live in peace. Those 7 words carry the weight of an entire childhood spent apart, an entire adolescence sacrificed on the altar of a dream, and a level of emotional intelligence that is staggering in someone so young. In one sentence, Alex Eala has encapsulated what the $15 million actually means. It is not wealth. It is freedom. Not her freedom. Her parents' freedom. The internet, predictably, absolutely lost its collective mind. Within hours of this message circulating, Alex's social media platforms transformed into a global space of extraordinary tenderness. Fans writing lengthy tributes. Sharing their own stories of parental sacrifice. Weeping openly in the digital public square. Parents tagging their adult children, writing, "See? This is what it means." Children tagging their parents, writing nothing at all, because sometimes there are no words. This message has become a viral phenomenon not because it is clever or calculated, but precisely because it is neither of those things. It is simply true. It reveals, with no filter and no PR strategy, the engine that drives Alexandra Eala every single day. She is not playing for fame or even primarily for trophies. She is playing to repay a debt. A debt of love so enormous that no contract, regardless of how many zeros it contains, can ever fully settle it. But $15 million is a remarkably good down payment. The parents, Mike and Riz's extraordinary sacrifice. To truly understand the magnitude of this payday, you must understand who Mike and Riza Eala are, what they gave, and what they endured. First and most importantly, these are not the stereotypical tennis parents of sporting folklore. You know the type, the hovering, obsessive, screaming from the bleachers variety who project their unfulfilled ambitions onto their children. Mike and Riza are the antithesis of that archetype. They are, by every account from coaches, fellow players' families, and tournament officials who have encountered them over the years, the gold standard of what sporting parents can be at their absolute best. Riza Eala is herself a champion. A former competitive swimmer who won bronze at the Southeast Asian Games, she understands the sacrifice, the discipline, and the particular brand of loneliness that elite athletic pursuit demands from a young person. She knows what she was asking her daughter to endure when the family made the decision to send Alex to Europe. And she made that decision anyway, because she believed. Tennis is one of the most financially burdensome sports in existence for aspiring elite players. Academy fees alone at facilities like the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, where Alex received her foundational elite training, run into the tens of thousands of dollars annually. Add coaching fees, equipment costs, international travel, accommodation, nutrition, physio, and all the invisible expenses that come with developing a world-class athlete, and you are looking at numbers that would make most families flinch. And understand, Mike and Rizza were not writing these checks from an inexhaustible trust fund. They worked. They sacrificed. They believed when the rational financial analysis suggested they probably should not. But the financial cost is the easier cost to quantify. The emotional cost is incalculable. Imagine the specific, particular ache of sending your 12-year-old daughter to live on a continent that is roughly 10,000 kilometers away. You miss the mundane moments that turn out not to be mundane at all. You are parenting over video calls with a 7-hour time difference. You are watching her matches on streams that occasionally freeze at the most agonizing moments. You are being the emotional anchor for a homesick teenager who is questioning everything, while managing your own grief without letting her see it, because showing her your pain would only compound hers. For years, Mike and Rizza lived in this state of sustained, deliberate sacrifice. They were investing their emotional present, the irreplaceable daily texture of family life, into a future that carried no guarantees. One catastrophic knee injury, one burnout, one crisis of confidence at the wrong moment, and the entire investment could have evaporated. That is the roulette wheel they agreed to spin, over and over, year after year. Because they believed in their daughter with a certainty that defied rational analysis. So when Alex says, "They worked so hard for me," she is not deploying a convenient cliché for a press release. She is speaking the absolute, documented, historical truth. And on the day that $15 million landed in her account, the first and only thought in her head was, pay that debt. The tennis economy, why this deal matters for all of Asia. Let us shift gears and talk business for a moment, because the context around this $15 million figure is as fascinating as the number itself. Why is Alex Eala worth this much before she has won a Grand Slam? Why now, at this specific point in her career? The answer requires understanding how modern sports endorsements actually function in 2026. Brands are not exclusively buying what you have won. They are buying who you represent, who loves you, and who will buy products because they see your face associated with them. They are buying community. They are buying narrative. They are buying the aspirational weight of your story. Alex Eala is simultaneously a domestic Filipino hero and an international crossover figure, and that combination is almost impossibly rare. She speaks fluent English. She trained in Spain. She competes across every major tennis market on earth. She carries the flag of Southeast Asia without it ever feeling like a marketing construct. It is simply, authentically, who she is. That authenticity cannot be manufactured. It can only be recognized and compensated appropriately. Consider the precedents. When Emma Raducanu won the U.S. Open at 18 years old, ranked 150th in the world, she had within months signed deals with Dior, Tiffany & Company, and Porsche. The commercial machine did not wait for a second slam. It moved immediately on the story, on the moment, on the feeling she generated in people. Alex Eala is that story, amplified by the family narrative that Raducanu frankly does not have. The girl who saved her parents is not just a headline. It is a complete, emotionally resonant arc that writes advertising campaigns by itself. Furthermore, the commercial analysis extends beyond the Philippines to the broader Southeast Asian economic bloc. Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, these are economies with rapidly expanding middle classes and growing sports consumption appetites. A pan-Southeast Asian tennis hero who happens to be at the peak of her powers and her story? The commercial value of that combination is staggering, and the $15 million begins to look not like an extravagant overpayment, but like an exceptionally prescient investment in what is coming next. In a paradoxical way, achieving the financial security goal is almost certainly going to make her more dangerous as a competitor, not less. She has solved the equation of external necessity. Now she gets to play purely for the love of the game, for the pursuit of her absolute ceiling as an athlete, for the historical legacy she wants to leave behind. That is the psychological state in which athletes do the best work of their careers. We are at the starting gun of the golden era of Alex Eala. The junior phase is completed. The promising rookie phase is emphatically over. The financial foundation is immovable. What remains is the tennis, the relentless pursuit of Grand Slam titles, of the world #1 ranking, of the kind of sustained excellence that earns you a permanent place in the conversation about the greatest players this sport has ever produced. The legacy begins now. So here's where we are. The ink is dry. The transfer is complete. Mike and Riza Eala are officially, beautifully, gloriously retired, with the freedom to spend the rest of their days doing exactly what they want to do, on their own timeline, in their own way, with no financial anxiety and no alarm clocks unless they choose to set them. They earned it in ways that defy the standard vocabulary of sporting achievement. Alex Eala is now one of the most commercially significant young athletes anywhere in the world. But knowing Alex, the Alex who has been demonstrating her character and her values since before most people knew her name, on Monday morning, she will be back on the training court. Shoes laced. Fingers taped. Thousands of balls waiting. Because the money changes her circumstances. It does not change her soul. This $15 million deal is not her finish line. It is not even close to her ceiling. It is the starting gun for phase 2 of what we are increasingly confident will be one of the great careers in the history of this sport. The phase where she hunts the world #1 ranking with the ferocity of someone who has nothing left to prove to anyone except herself. The phase where she walks onto the courts of Wimbledon and Roland Garros carrying nothing but her talent, her preparation, her family's love, and the absolute unshakable knowledge that she has already won the thing that matters most. We are so immeasurably proud to cover this journey at Court Vision Plus. We have been in this together since the beginning, through the junior titles, the setbacks, the breakthroughs, the matches that ended in tears and the matches that ended in roars, and we will be here until the very last page of this extraordinary story is written. But today, we celebrate. We celebrate the power of an unbreakable dream. We celebrate the power of a family that refused to give up. We celebrate the power of a young woman who was handed an extraordinary gift and responded not with entitlement, but with a gratitude so deep and so genuine that it brought the entire world to its knees. To Alex, congratulations from the bottom of our hearts. You did it. You made your parents proud. You made your country proud. You made tennis fans everywhere, regardless of the flag they carry, genuinely proud to be watching this sport right now. To Mike and Riza, enjoy every single second of this. Have a pina colada. Have 10 of them. You have earned it 1,000 times over. And when Alex lifts that first Grand Slam trophy, and she will, make sure someone gets a close-up of your faces in that moment. Because that image is going to be one for the ages. And to the rest of the WTA Tour? We say this with love and absolute sincerity, watch out. Alex Eala is just getting started. And she is coming for everything. Call to action. Alright, Court Vision family, that is the story of the day, and what an absolute story it is. But now I want to hear from you. This channel only grows because of this community, and your voice matters enormously to us. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. What do you think about Alex Eala's staggering $15 million mega deal? Is this going to fuel her hunger for more, or do you think the financial comfort could shift her focus? And we want to know, if you suddenly had $15 million deposited in your account tomorrow morning, what is the very first thing you would do for your family? If this story moved you the way it moved us, hit that like button right now. It takes literally half a second and it makes an enormous difference in how many people this story reaches. Think about it. Every like gets this story in front of someone new who might need to hear it today. And if you are new to Court Vision Plus and you found your way here through Alex's story, welcome home. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This is the community where tennis is more than a sport. It is a lens for understanding what human beings are capable of when they believe in something hard enough and long enough. This is Court Vision Plus. Keep your eyes on the ball. And we will see you in the next video. Court Vision Plus, subscribe, like, comment, share.
We love you, Alex!
And then just globally, do you have a sense of, like, sorry, I'm not trying to give you an ego here, but like if you look at the numbers on YouTube for like the pre-tournament press conferences, how much people watch some of yours? Is at like 170?
I'm just one person. I'm, just trying to do my best with the career that I have. I'm an athlete that's doing her best to compete and doing her best to